Hello, everyone. I'm Bill Jenkins. Thank you for joining us for the daily devotion from the office of His Grace Ministry. His Grace Ministry is an evangelistic ministry. We go wherever the Lord opens the door. And if you are a pastor or if you're a member of a church and your pastor is looking for someone to fill a pulpit, do a one-day evangelistic emphasis, come do a revival, speak at a Bible conference, we are available for all of these. If you'll contact us, we will send you a brochure and you can pass it along to the right people. This week we have been looking at 2 Corinthians chapter number 1 and a statement made by the Apostle Paul that our God is the God of all comforts. In fact, verse number 3, blessed be God, even the Father of the Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies. Isn't that wonderful? And the God of all comfort. And that's what I need in my life today. I need mercy and I need some comfort, who comforted us in all our tribulation. Now, what does all mean? All means all, and that's all that all means. And on this Friday, you need to know that He is the God who can comfort you regardless of what you are going through, regardless of the trouble. Now, have you ever come across a truth in the Bible or lived through a truth in your life only to come away from that truth asking, why is that there? Why did I have to go through that? Paul gives us a reason behind his suffering and his trial. He said it nearly killed him. He was pressed out of measure. He despaired even of life. But he said, I went through all of that for others. He went through what he went through so that he could be a comfort to others. Because of past experience, being comforted in the midst of trial and tribulation. Verse number 5 says, for as the sufferings of Christ abound in us, so our consolation also abounded by Christ. You see, it's not enough just to live through something, just to make it through the struggle. Understand the great truth that is taught here is that God led you to that time so that you might learn by His divine comfort and mercy, and having been taught at the throne of grace, teach others. Here are the words of the Apostle Paul. Blessed be the God, even the Father of the Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies, the God of all comfort, who comforted us in all our tribulation, that we might be able to comfort them which are in any trouble by the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of God. Verse number 5, for as the sufferings of Christ abound in us, so also our consolation also abounded by Christ, and whether we be afflicted, it is for your consolation and salvation, which is effectual in the enduring of the same sufferings which we also suffer. Or whether we be comforted, is for your consolation and salvation. And our hope of you is steadfast, knowing that as you are partakers of the suffering, so you also shall be of the consolation. Notice the words. Verse number 4 says that we may be able to comfort them that are in any trouble by the comfort we ourselves are comforted of God. Paul's ministry of comfort to those reading this in the Corinthian church would not have been possible had he not have gone through what he went through. Has anybody ever come to you in a time when you were down and said, I know what you're going through? I had people come up to me when we lost our son, and they would say that over and over again. They didn't know what I was going through. They didn't have the same relationship with their kids as I had with mine. That's not what they're saying. What they're saying is that there's a God in heaven. And just like the God strengthened me in my time, He will strengthen you in your time. You need to know that God never forsakes His children. In verse number 6, again, he says, whether we be afflicted, it's for your consolation, your salvation, which is effectual in enduring the same sufferings which we also suffered. In other words, he said, you need to know that I've been through this and that I got through this because of the great God of glory, the God of all mercies. I got through it because of Him, and that's how you will get through it. All that Paul went through, he went through to have a more effective ministry to others. Many pastors and counselors have tried to comfort the parents of a child taken from them in death. Yet they fall short in ministering in this area because they've not been through that tragic loss. You need somebody that has been there. You need somebody that's going to be a strength to them. I'm thankful for everyone who came and tried to help us when we lost our son. And there were many who had had the same heartbreak. I think of brother, I call him Sergeant Carter, Raymond Williams. He had lost a boy. And he drove all the way from Crestview to come over there and to sit in my living room and talk with me about my son. And I was saying, why me? And Raymond looked at me and said, Bill, why not you? What makes you any different than anybody else? You're going to go through trials. You're going to go through tribulation. But God is still the same. And because of having to go through that thing, Raymond was able to minister to me, and I have been able to minister to others. With the same comfort we are comforted with, we comfort others. Many of you have gone through some unique experiences. God brought you through when you thought that the world would surely end. I've not been through those experiences, but you have. And because you have, you can be a comfort to others. You can tell them how that God's grace was sufficient in the time of trial. And now you've got a ministry. One that is meant to bring him, God the glory, God of all glory. You're meant to bring him glory and give comfort to others. You and I must understand that when God leads us through a trial, it doesn't take him by surprise. He has already been there. He's already figured it out. He knows what he's going to do. He knows how he's going to strengthen you and lift you. If you going through a trial right now are depending upon yourself, you are going to fail. But if you are depending upon God, a God who cannot fail, a God who does all things well, a God who has the strength you need to face whatever you're facing on this Friday, he is the God of all comfort and all strength. That's the reason he said, cast your care upon me, because I care for you. That's the reason he said, come now, let us reason together. That's the reason he said, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, I'll give you rest. That's the reason the invitation of Revelation 22 is, come. Come to him today. Bring whatever you're facing. Bring whatever trial you're going through, whatever persecution it might be, whatever sorrow it might be, whatever belittlement or betrayal it might be. Bring it to him. Lay it before him and say, God, I can't carry this, but I know you can. And cast your care upon him because he cares for you. That's our devotions for this week. Please join us again here next week. And until then, may the Lord bless and keep you is my prayer. And please take a moment to pray for our ministry. Until Monday,